Hey guys, Drake here with the Nectar Bar, and today we are seeding out a rain garden. So just so you kind of understand what a rain garden is, a rain garden is a very shallow place that is specifically done to control water. It's watershed that comes off the house and off the street. It's collected here and then it slowly drains and percolates into your own natural habitat to keep their water feeding your plants and maintaining it so that it's not causing problems in the roads. It also helps create areas for butterflies that might be puddling, which is where they collect minerals and things like that. So what we're going to do is we're basically getting a bunch of seeds that are good for different berm areas like we have here, and some that will be good in the actual wet area. So this wet area here is not something that is a pond. It is literally just something that collects the water. It will pool up, and it might take a couple of weeks to kind of go down and percolate in through the plant. So you want things that are adaptive. You want things that don't mind wet feet, but can also tolerate dry feet, because here in South Texas, we can get 500 degrees and be very hot and dry. So you want to make sure that you know and are aware of what types of plants that will actually help here. Up here on the berm, some things are already planted, some different types of trees, some other plants that help create and hold the soil in so that the soil is not eroding from the watershed. So it'll actually hold it here, but still allow the pooling and collection here. What we wanted to do is give specific different host plants and nectar plants. So host plants are the plants that are needed for the caterpillars to eat in order to build colonies of butterflies. The nectar plants are going to be the ones that give the flowers, that give the nectar to both and all insects and all pollinators. Sometimes we're lucky enough to get flowers and plants that are both nectar and host. One of those things and that we are planting is going to be milkweeds. We have aquatic milkweed that we're going to seed. This will do really, really well in a rain garden such as this. It will also do well at the side of ponds, in ponds, anywhere where it's wet and dry, but it can tolerate being dry for a little bit. So it's perfect for rain gardens. If you don't have somewhere that's a damp area, then I wouldn't go with an aquatic milkweed, because it does need at certain times some areas where it's wet. Another one that we're going to do is Texana milkweed. Texana milkweed we'll do up here in the berm. And then we're also going to do some antelope horn milkweed, and we'll kind of do it all throughout so it can kind of spread out and show different colors and textures and heights of plants. We are also going to do some different coneflowers. We have purple coneflower, giant coneflower, and clasping coneflower. And once these actually come in, it'll be so much easier to tell the difference between them, from the leaves to the flowers and how they grow and the different periods of times that they bloom. So everything in one little basket that we can put together and show exactly how you can have diversity into your own garden, whether it's a rain garden or just a natural habitat that you're trying to build. So we're gonna go ahead and kind of get started and see what we can get growing. The spots that I want to make sure that I'm just slightly pulling back some dirt or some of the mulch that's laid here to be able to plant the seeds. The biggest mistake that people make is planting their seeds too deep. It's much better just to lay it on the surface, maybe lightly just dust with your hands or rake, and then just kind of sprinkle the seeds down and lightly with your hand dust it. Don't cover it, because if you do it too deep, it will never germinate, and we want to have success. Some of them you don't even have to do that at all. So what we're going to do here with the Anise hyssop is we're just going to literally, in some of the wet areas, just kind of sprinkle And then some of the dry areas, we're also gonna sprinkle. And this stuff smells like heaven. It's very aromatic. The leaves, the flowers, and even the dried material. It smells so good. One of my favorites, blue curls. If you have never ever seen blue curls, Google it. Google it. It is such a beautiful flower. It gets these very bluish purple flowers. It stands to be about 2 to 3 foot tall. They can grow in full sun or full shade. They get more blooms if you're in shade, or in sun, I'm sorry. And they are just electrifying. They are so pretty, and they are such a huge attractant for different pollinators. A great nectar source. Another one that we have that I didn't mention a few minutes ago was sennas. So this is Lindheimer senna, which is also, there's lots of different common names, so it's really important to know the scientific names of plants, because there are different sennas, some that are native, some that are not. And we don't want to plant anything that's necessarily not native. Sometimes those plants are toxic. It can actually kill caterpillars that are trying to eat that plant. So this is Lindheimer senna. It is a native. And this is the host plant for all of the sulfur butterflies. Many of the sulfur butterflies will use this. The most common one that you will get here is the sleepy orange sulfur. This plant gets probably maybe about 2 to 3 foot tall. It has yellow flowers, but the leaves are very soft to the touch. Almost when you're feeling it, it almost feels like a lamb's ear. It's very velvety. So a common name for this is called velvet leaf senna, and it kind of gets its name because it does. It's very soft to the touch. This too is a very good natural homeopathic herb for women. If you're interested in knowing more about that, you can look it up, but it's great for women and our hormones if you want to make some tea with this. And then here's another one that I specifically like, besides the milkweeds, obviously, is gaura. Everyone is really familiar with all kinds of different gauras, from the ones that you can commonly get into the nurseries around town, to the ones that you may see that's natural out in your wildscape areas. This is Lizzardtail gaura, so it's not a common one, but it is native to our area. And it has a long white flower that kind of resembles a lizard's tail, I guess. So that's kind of how it's got its name. It can be very tall. It gets about 3 foot tall, so you do want to make sure that you look up your plants to know the different heights. You wouldn't want something in the front that is too tall, and then you would have to move it to the back. So understand the heights and the growth patterns of your plants so that you know exactly where to seed your things, or to plant them if you already have the plants. So there we go. We have a few things that we're already getting in. I'm gonna finish up here in a little bit and go through some other stuff and other seeds that we're gonna get planted over on the other side. So until next time, peace, love, and butterflies.